Hey, it's Barb, and welcome to Tips for Showing and Writing in Front of Others. So this video is going to be a lot about tips for showing. At least those are the examples I used, but really it's any time that you write in front of others. And this is Barbara. How did that picture get in there? I can't believe somebody snuck that picture in there. Nice glasses, Barb, in the 8th grade. Oh, there you go. I've changed a little bit since then, but not a lot. So anyway, Nick and I want to say hello to you and welcome to this video. So as a writer in general, and it's the same if you're going to some kind of special event like a show or a clinic or something like that, you're always collecting and assembling puzzle pieces of information and experience every time you ride. And this video is about helping you organize those puzzle pieces and giving you tips that I know can make a big difference in your preparation. And then also tips that will help you stay grounded as you ride. So what I'm going to share with you are 4 steps to write at your best in a show or in front of others, and I'll explain the purpose of each step and when to do it first. Okay, so here's a diagram that I've been working on this webinar series that I just completed called Shine in the Show Pen. And the idea is to give you steps so that you can methodically, step by step, get a good foundation for everything that you're doing, show with accuracy and focus and calm, and then methodically review your results so that you can just keep improving. So I just wanted to show you this first, and then I'm going to walk through each one and show you the purpose and when they occur. So the first one here is to grow personally. The purpose of Set True North is for you to grow personally and have joy as you go through this experience with your horse. And sometimes it's really stressful riding in front of others, and stay calm and focused in any situation. So, and then when that happens is all the time. And you're going to understand what I mean by that in just a little bit. I'm going to expand on it a little bit more. But basically, the Set True North is something that's so personal to you, both in the bigger picture and also when you're on the line at a show or a clinic or trail ride or, whatever your situation might be. And it never really ends. It's not just so time specific. Okay, so our second step is to prepare and polish both the horse and the rider. And the purpose of this is strategic preparation and constant, very methodical improvement. And that happens at home. Or, if you go take a lesson at a trainer, but, doesn't happen where you're going. It's a very specific sequence of events to get ready to do whatever it is that you're getting ready to go do. And it involves visualizations, which might surprise you that I would put such high regard, or not regard, but emphasis on that. But it's because our bodies don't know the difference in our minds between something vividly imagined and the real thing. And then, of course, barn practices. Actually, going in your own arena or to a trainer's or wherever and taking lessons. So now the third step is the actual show. Again, I'm just using the word show, but it could be anything. And it's thorough event day prep and putting yourself and your horse on the line. That's the purpose. That's what you do when you go to the show. You get very involved in your preparation, and then ultimately what separates riding at home from riding at a show or in front of other people is that you show up at a certain time in a certain place and go for it with your horse. And that, of course, happens on the day of the event. Okay? Then the purpose of the review is to gather data about what transpired, what exactly really happened when you were in this situation away from home, and then planning to strategically move forward. And that's really personal about when you do that. And it's done sometime after your ride. And typically, in the way that I'm speaking of it, at least here, is I'm not talking about doing it in depth when you walk out the gate. I'm talking about getting away, from it just at least a little bit and really gathering information and data that you can use. So the secret to constant improvement is doing key practices consistently. By practices, I mean a way of doing things, a behavior that you do consistently that builds each step. So what I'm going to do in this little short video is give you one practice and one tip for each of our 4 steps. So the first one is, our first step was set true north. So I'm breaking my rule right off the bat. And I said I was only going to give you one practice, but I was having a hard time deciding which one because they're so important, both of them. A personal reflection is you having a systematic way to access your joy for riding, your vision of yourself as a rider, why you ride, your belief in yourself. It's like writing a personal mission statement for everything that you do with your horse, and specifically for these outings, at least in terms of how we're using it here. And the reason that I couldn't skip this, because this is not probably the most, I'll just use this term, kind of a funny term, sexy thing, or it's something that like, boy, I'm going to watch this video because I want to learn to write a personal reflection. But it's really the essence, the foundation of how you view yourself and your riding, and what you believe is possible and what your joy is. And the tip that I would give you is a very simple tip. It's stay true to yourself and ask yourself questions about what you think and what you believe about a bigger picture. And then the second practice is managing your energy. And many of you know me by this. This is the mental skills, quote unquote, part of it. But it's really about your ability to be very aware if you're in a positive energy state, like focused, calm, enthusiastic, confident, or if you're in a quote unquote negative state, like angry, frustrated, just blaming other people, whatever it could be, just wanting to give up, any of those things. If you're in that state, how do you transform nerves? How do you transform that in a moment to get to a positive energy state? Because you will ride below your natural level of talent and skill, and you will not connect to your horse or to your job if you are not in that positive state. So my tip for you is to be very aware of how you talk to yourself, and talk to yourself in the way that you would talk to a close friend. Okay? Now, for our second step, preparation and polish, there are several practices for this, but what I chose is this idea of chunking. And I've been teaching this and I've known about this for a long, long time. But just like everything in our writing or in our lives, we find a deeper level. And the chunking really has to do with breaking things down and practicing things in pieces, and also being aware of the timing and what the transitions are between pieces. Because when you show, for example, you are ultimately giving a performance, like a flow, like a ballerina on a stage, so to speak. And even though it flows, into one big, hopefully beautiful presentation, the way to get that beautiful presentation is to break whatever it is that you're doing up into chunks. And that's my tip for you, is to think about the kind of writing you do, the event that you're going to, and break up what you're doing into pieces and think about the transitions. Okay? So there are a number of practices for show day that are really critical. One that would go right here is the preparation of you and your horse and the two of you together. And then, also the actual showing, being in the arena. But because my goal was to pick one, I chose a pre-ride ritual. And here's why. Because what you do right before you walk into the arena or start on the trail, for both yourself and for your horse, sets the tone and gets you focused, almost like you're walking into a movie. You're very calm, very focused. And there's one for you, and there's one for your horse. And then as the rider, you're the leader of your team, you can learn to weave them together. Because if you go into the arena in an unfocused or kind of an anxious state, then what happens is it's really hard to get back grounded again and to get into the flow that you really want. So that's why I chose that one practice for the actual riding that you do. And notice that top of the pyramid, it's such a small amount of time, of course, compared to everything else that you do. Okay, then the next practice that I have for the review is that you're going to gather information. It's not going to be the old, oh, that was great, or that was horrible, and not thinking about the chunks. But you're going to have your thoughts and opinions, which are, of course, very valid. If you show, there's the judge's card. A video, I really encourage you to video yourself. And then your mentors, your trainers, and you get to pick who you choose to listen to. So my tip for you is to think of your writing and your performance in a show, or whatever you do on the spot in front of other people. Arrange it so you can gather as much information as you can, because that's what you're going to do to strategically plan how you pick things up again. It might impact what you do here and how you see yourself in your showing. But it has a lot to do with your preparation and polishing before you go to show next time. So I encourage you to go for it. Enjoy your horse. Keep improving forever. This whole thing of showing is such an awesome opportunity to grow personally, grow more focused, grow more calm, be a great problem solver, all of those things. And above all, to have a wonderful time. And I know that going through these steps will really help you to break things down and strategically do the actions and behaviors and the practices that really solidify each of the steps. So the Shine program closes this Thursday night at midnight Pacific time, 3:18. And there's a link below this video that you can click if you're interested to get more information on this program. All of the steps have 3 videos to them. There's approximately like more than 8, close to 9 hours of, no, sorry, more like 12 hours of information in videos and audios and resource material. And aside from that, please leave a comment for me and let me know what you will use regarding the tips in this video. Okay. Till next time, thank you. Leave a comment. Bye-bye.